because I wish somebody would told me this. But I'm getting choked up because like I really mean this. I really wish somebody would have told me this stuff earlier. And I'm glad there's a platform like YouTube where I can see, little girls can see people like me. Maybe I'll look like them, and they can feel like there is hope for people like me and I can do something about it. What's up, y'all? It's Janae the Bae, and I'm back again with another video. Yes, this is the first video of beloved 2021. I'm just so glad to be here. I'm thankful that you're here with me. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for helping yourself. Thank you for helping me. And before we get started, if you're new here, my name's Janae. My channel is all about being the big sister that you never had, the big sister I wish I had growing up, to like just show you as Black women how to live a better life and what has helped me be successful, and maybe you can take some stuff to help you be successful. So come on, come along, watch through this whole video. I'm gonna take you with me on how I like to reminisce and reflect on the last year as I go into the new year, so that I can make sure that I'm taking what I learned from last year, seeing what worked, didn't work, and beginning to formulate my new plan for this year. So come on, let's get started. I wrote down a few questions, but before we get started, I just want to start off by saying that I'm grateful for everything that happened last year. A lot of it was not good, a lot of it was good, but I'm just grateful for everything that did happen because it made me the person I am now, and I'm really proud to just be here in front of you making this video. So let's get my 2020 vision board. I actually have a video of me doing the board. Looking back, I kind of wish I didn't do that, but let's just get into this. Let's just go based off what happened. So first of all, this board I moved to I lived 3 different places last year, and most of the places I didn't have my own space. This is like the first time I had my own space to just do whatever I want to do creatively. And the thing about my vision board is that I kind of want to keep it private. Like, even making that video about the vision board was like the opposite of it. But you know, looking back, I want to make it more private this year. So that's why I'm deciding not to show you my new vision board. I already made it because I freaking love it. But I'm going to tell y'all what I took from this one to make my new one. So on this vision board, some of these are like cutouts. This is a cutout, and then all the stickers are just random. But I did look them up. But like having pictures like this, where it's like other people, I kind of don't like that unless the person is inspiring. Like for her, my intention was body goals, but like I want to be my own body goals. Instead of putting the body on there, I want to put stuff that'll help me get there. So that's what I started to do for the new year. Even though I am proud of my body, like it's pretty toned, but it can definitely be better. Like it can always be better. So a lot of this stuff I knew, like that's a bad thing. Like when I don't think I can get it in that year, then it's probably not gonna happen. Like the Tesla, probably not gonna happen. Now this apartment, on the other hand, I believed I can get something like this, but not as like bougie as this. Like this is downtown Dallas. And turns out that's not actually what I wanted, because I did look at those, and first of all, not in my budget. Second of all, not worth it. Like definitely a suburbs country girl. Like I don't need to be all close to people. Like this place right now is still kind of close. Like I'd rather be really far. Well, I don't want to be able to hear my neighbors, and I don't want them to hear me. Yeah, this Vibes hair. Oh my gosh. I realized in 2020 that I really do not want to do hair I am blessed. I do have blessed hands. I can do hair really well, but I do not like doing other people's hair, because sometimes they ask for stuff and I want to be like, no, I can't do that. But they're like, no, you should do it. And I'm like, it's not going to look good. and they still get it done, and then we both don't like it, and I'm just like,
I'm sorry, but you have to pay me.
And then there are a lot of scammers. Like I had so many like scammers on my website, on my Shopify website this year, and it made me lose money. And honestly, I wasn't making that much money on my Shopify. I'm like canceling it. I'm about to cancel it. I think I'm gonna go down a new avenue, something I'm more passionate about. And then that leads me to this, which is hair. Last year, I wore a lot of wigs because I was trying to make this work and this work. I was trying to grow my hair out, but I realized it was getting me attention that I didn't really want. Like, I felt the racism, because definitely in Texas, everybody's more blatant about their racism. And I noticed that different people treat me differently based off my hair. And I'm black. Like, I have a lot of pride in being black and excellence, black excellence. And I want to look black. Like, I want to look naturally beautiful in my full blackness. And that includes natural hairstyles. So that's why, if you can't tell, this is crochet hair, and crocheting grows the heck out of my hair. Like, I'm probably gonna have my hair like this all January. I'm going off on a tangent, but back to the vision board. I'm happy that I did move into my lovely apartment. I've really been trying to connect with my loved ones and really choosing my family, because blood don't mean a thing. Like, blood is blood, but like it really has the significance you put on it. And I feel like the people who put the most significance on blood are the people that like to, I was talking to my brother about this, but they're the ones that like to exploit that connection. And those are the type of people I cut off. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, you're cut, you get on my nerves. I'm telling you get on my nerves. So my business focus has changed for sure. Traveling, COVID, oh my gosh. Like, was COVID happening when I made it? I really don't think so. I feel like I was late making my vision board, but it wasn't that late. And I was supposed to be going to Zimbabwe this year, making plans. And then last year around October, they decided to postpone it due to COVID. And so traveling plans have been postponed again. But it's funny because this led into something else that I want to do this year. And then over here I have like the YouTube stuff. YouTube, I definitely saw growth, not as much growth as I could have seen if I were consistent. But you know, that's why this goal is spilling over into next year. Yeah, that's basically, oh yeah, and budgeting. I was terrible at budgeting, but now I can say I have a slight hold on being money savvy and budgeting, and it gives me like a sense of peace that I just love. And first of all, I'm an unemployed millennial with a degree in engineering. I'm living a pretty deliciously decent lifestyle. Like, I can't complain, and I like it. And I know there's a security in knowing that I do have a job on the way. It doesn't start until about 2 months from now, but there's a security in having a budget and having savings and knowing. That's the reflection from this year. And now I have some prompt questions that if you want to, grab your pen and paper and journal and write it down so that you can do it. Because honestly, I love doing these types of prompts and questions with myself because it tells me a lot about myself. And you may think you know a lot about yourself like by listening to your thoughts, but when you write down stuff, it helps you focus and be more specific. And when you're focused and specific, you're able to attract what you want quickly because you know exactly what you want. So like, I don't know if that made sense, but I was listening to this video earlier, and like this hella successful woman, she makes $6,000 a day on one revenue source. That's freaking goals. Like, she's making over $200,000 a month from her revenue sources. That's goals. So I was tapping into her video, and her example was that, like, I'm gonna just give you my version of her example, but it was like, basically I wanted a certain car. And once I was like, oh, I'm gonna stop saying I want a car, I'm gonna say I want this exact car, I started to see that car literally everywhere, like everywhere. And then I heard there was like a community of people in that car, and they always go like that to each other. And like, I started meeting people in that community, and I feel like I never would have like heard that whatsoever in my entire life. Like, I feel like that was crazy. So like, if you've ever had an example like that, she used the example of she wanted a Australian Shepherd dog or something, and she and her husband decided they wanted to get that dog, and all of a sudden she saw everybody with that dog. And so that's really true. When you start writing down specifically exactly what you want, it manifests like before you even know it. Like a lot of the things that I have been writing down in my journals before, like stuff I forget about. And that's the key. Like when you forget about it, that's exactly when it pops up. And a lot of the times I don't even notice when it pops up. I just receive it. I'm like, wow, this is nice. But then later I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I asked for. And it's like awesome having that like feeling and like seeing that type of thing manifest. And so I encourage you to write these things down and be very specific. And so let's start with the first question. And the first question is, what did I do right? I think last year I was able to have the vision board, and I was able to like have a visual cue of what I wanted all the time. And that was really nice. Like every day you have that visual cue of exactly what you want. And that's what I really liked. And one thing that I was doing last year was that I started to like wake up earlier on my own terms. Like I had 8 a.m.s in class a lot when I was in college, and I used to hate waking up, and it would just get on my nerves. But like I just realized that was because I didn't like what I was waking up to do. And usually I didn't have like a morning routine. I would just brush my teeth, wash my face, and moisturize and go on my way. Like didn't even worry about my outfit, did not care, because I didn't have anybody to impress. Then I started to realize I need to impress myself, and so I started waking up earlier. And I realized that when I wake up earlier and get like a head start on the day and wake up with the sun, I realized that I feel so much more productive. Like today I did it, and it was the first time in like a week. I fell off. Me and Theo celebrated his birthday last weekend. We were drinking, and drinking really throws me off. Like it throws off my whole motivation and mood. So like that's why I don't really like to do it that much. I'll do it socially, but I definitely gonna cut back. Usually I feel like I have to like feel tipsy when I go out and drink socially, but I'm cutting that off in 2021. But another thing I did right was I started to really focus on what I eat, and I started to cook a lot of my own meals. And I realized that I love cooking. Like I would low-key open a restaurant one day. Like cooking is really fun to me, and it's nice to know exactly what's going in my food. And me, I consider myself a good cook. Theo will attest to that. His family will attest to that. My brothers will attest to that. I like to make food taste delicious. And sometimes it's not always healthiest, but at least I know exactly what's going in there. And so, yeah, that was some of the things I did right. Now, the next question is, what did I do wrong? So I think one thing I did wrong was that I wasn't very specific on here. I feel like it was too many goals on my vision board. I feel like I had too many goals, and I didn't really like water it down to like 2 or 3. And those 2 or 3 can be broken down into smaller goals. And so this year, I have 3 main goals. And this year I decided to focus all my attention on those 3 main goals. And before I did this, I did a lot of work of just writing down my thoughts. Like, what do I feel like? I did a lot of reflection. I used a lot of books and resources to do my own like self-reflection. I talked to my fiance about it to hear his opinion of what he thought of the same questions about me, to just give like an outside opinion. And some of the things that I did do wrong is that I didn't stay consistent. I didn't create systems where I could stay consistent. When I'm not consistent, it leads me to have bad results, and those bad results lead to bad feelings, and then I feel demotivated. But instead, I'm choosing to just have action and create the systems. So I started to habit track, and I noticed the habits that leaded to more bad habits, and I decided to rewire that system so that habit was deleted. And I'll always do something good before it, and so right after that good thing, I decided to change the new habit. It's a whole system thing. If you want to learn more, I suggest you read Atomic Habits by James Clear. He'll definitely explain it way better than I can. But if you have questions, you can leave them down in the comments below. Something else I did wrong was I isolated myself a lot. I did not rely on other people because I did not trust other people. I was just trusting the wrong people, and right now I'm deciding to be very picky about that. And another thing I did wrong, I just wish I was more consistent in my YouTube, and that goes back to creating systems. I decided to focus a lot on self-care towards the end of the year, And there's a good thing, like there has to be a good mixture between loving yourself and working for yourself. And working for yourself kind of consists of the things that you don't want to do, but they help you in the future. And loving yourself kind of like consists of the things that you do that help you right now, that make you feel good about right now. And a lot of the time I focused on this one too much and I neglected this one. And then towards the end of the year, I focused a lot on self-care and not really like putting in work. And so I want to make sure that that's like nicely meshed. And that starts with planning. Last year I realized that, okay, let me start. This next question is, what do I want to bring into 2021? A lot of these answers spill over into each other, but I want to bring into 2021 something that I really noticed is that planning is a major key. Like living in the moment, being aware of this present moment is amazing. I'm thankful for every present moment, but being aware of where you want to go specifically and how you can make small improvements every day and every moment to get there is very important. And having a plan and writing that plan down, but not only writing the plan down, but working the plan. Working the plan is the hardest part. Plan the work the plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so write down a schedule. Like I played a lot with what types of scheduling, planning system worked best for me. Like I used to have a planner. I used to try planners. Planners didn't work. I used to try the reminders in my phone. That didn't work. For me, like planning too far ahead, I need to do that every, like maybe once a week, I'll plan the next week. Once a month, I'll plan the next month, next 3 months. Like I try to like plan not too far ahead, but at least once a year, I write a 10-year plan. Where do I want to be in 10 years? Like I challenge you to try that. It is very, very hard to think, for me at least. I just started doing this last year and I wrote it down. And after about 5 years, I was like, I don't know. Like I really don't know. And it was really challenging, and I just started to like get creative. Like it's crazy because I'm excited to see where I actually am 10 years from now, and like compared to what I wrote down. Like I'm gonna revisit it because it's really fun to see what you think you'll be like in 10 years. Like when I was little, I used to think I would be married with children at 25. I'm about to be 24 next month. I do not want children for at least 2-3 years. So I think I'll probably have children around 27, 28. I'll probably be married by the end of this year. But I guess that's kind of on track. But like really interesting seeing that stuff. But in the meantime, every Sunday I have to reset and be like, this is my intention for the week. This is what I plan to get done. Like I just vomit all the things that I want to get done for the week on that page. And then slowly, what really helps me helps me feel effective is writing down 3 things to do. I used to do it first thing in the morning, but it slowly migrated to right before bed. And I have a whole night routine. That's another thing I'm bringing into 2021 is night routines, morning routines, and skincare routines, self-pampering routines. All that self-love stuff is gonna be in the routine, like scheduled for me. Like I have to get it done or else I'm not feeling right. And on top of that, I like to journal at night, what I'm grateful for. And at the bottom, I'll put 3 things that I wanna get done for the next day. And then I like to meditate myself to sleep. Wake up in the morning, meditate again, journal some more. And then I have a whiteboard. What really helps me is having what I need to do right in front of my face all day. I try not to be on my phone, even though I am on my phone a lot, but having it written on a wall, literally it's right on a wall. I will write down the date and I'll be like, January 6th to-do list. I want to do this. I want to do my makeup. I want to work out, Chloe Ting, and I want to film this video. And what I learned about myself is that there certain types of goals get done and certain types don't. So sometimes when I write the goal too big, like film this video, no. There's so many steps that go before filming the video that if they don't get done, the video is not getting done. So I have to make sure I include like at least one of the major steps. Like if I'm filming a video, I'm doing my makeup because I really don't like how tired and sleepy I look when my makeup is not done. And so that really helps me get into the mood to do my makeup or to film a video. So play around with what types of goals get done and what types of goals don't. But honestly, being able to check something off, it feels so fulfilling. It like triggers that reward hormone in your mind, and it feels good. It feels delicious, like to your mind. And so let's move on to the next question. So what do I want to leave behind in 2020? So in 2020, I want to leave behind not working the plan, and that involves actually taking action and making a plan. Because a lot of the times when I'm like wandering around like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? It's because I didn't have a plan to do. And like, in order to have a plan, you have to have attention. And why? What is your why? Why are you doing anything in life? What are you passionate for? Why are you on this earth? Why did God give you the gifts that you have? Why are you here? How can you help people? And that's another big question, is how can you help people? I felt like a lot of the time in 2020, I focused on myself and my woes. I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you? Look where you are. You are blessed. You live in a 2-bedroom apartment. You are blessed in so many ways, and you have so much knowledge that can just help somebody else. Like, you could have helped yourself last year, and the person you were last year could have helped a lot of people. So like, why are you staying quiet about it? And it's selfish. It's selfish of you to not share your gifts with people and encourage them to grow and nourish their gifts. So yeah, that was a tough love. You gotta have it. So I'm leaving that behind in 2020. I'm leaving my selfish ways behind, and I'm leaving being shy. I'm leaving caring what people think, because the more I grow older, the more I realize that adults don't know what is going on. Like, they're making this up as they go. They're making it up. And so it's time for me to start making my own stuff up. Like, literally, when you're a child, you're living life based off of the world your parents made up in your mind, based off the world your teachers made up in your mind, based off the world the media made up in your mind. And they're all just made up of people who made up stuff in their own mind. Like, now, as you get older, you have the power. Anytime, as a human being, you have the power to change your situation, to change your habits, to change your way of thinking, to change the people you hang around, to change everything. And it's in your power, and it starts with your mind. And you have to be able to tell yourself and believe that you're able to do it, because if you don't believe something, you're not going to get it done. Like, you achieve what you believe you can, period. If you don't think you can do it, you're not going to do it. Like, I'm into like crazy stuff. Like, I skateboard, I like to snowboard, and some of that stuff you gotta be more coordinated to do. And sometimes I would skate around campus, and my friend, she's so sweet, I love her so much, but not as coordinated. We were going skateboarding, and there's like a little lip, and you can only make that lip without your skateboard stopping if you're going fast enough. And so I only did it on accident one day, and for me, skateboarding, as long as I don't jump off, I won't fall. And I have fallen before, but it was only because I jumped off. So I encourage you not to jump unless you're about to crash. It's like a rite of passage, skateboarding and motorcycling. That's another thing I've done. My brother crashed my motorcycle, so I don't have that one. Maybe he saved my life, but anyways. She said, I don't think I can do it. I was like, no, you can do it if you just go fast enough. I should have believed her, because she believed herself and she broke her ankle. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I didn't use your name. I love you so much. It's not funny, but she didn't believe she could do it, and I should have believed her. And I believed I could, and I did it. So it really does make a difference. I truly believe if she believed she could have did it, because if I can do it, she can do it. But yes. If you believe you can do something, you can do it. And making a decision, I used to be so like, I could not make a decision in 2020. Like, I literally had to start writing down my decisions, because girl, like, what? I was so indecisive about everything. And that came to my goals. Like, as soon as I came to a bump in the road, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. It came out in school, but like, I realized I was going towards things that I didn't really care about. And And that's why it's important for me. I realized that I needed to meditate on what I actually wanted. Like, what do I want? What are the things that I was conditioned by society and my parents and friends and teachers and peers that I should want? And what is it that I actually want? And usually what I actually want is it's the way that nobody else is going, that I've never seen anybody else to go through, and nobody has done it before. But that's because there's never been anybody like me. There's never been anybody like you who's been through your experiences and has the same desires and wants that you and I want. And so that's we're the only ones who can do it. And the only way to do it is to take action. So next, this is the last question. If you're here, thank you. I love you so much for making it this far. I hope you had some valuable knowledge given to you. And this is the last question, the most important question. And it is, how do I put this into action? How do I put my goals, intentions into action? And I can't tell you how to do yours because I don't know what your goals and intentions for 2021 are. But I know what mine are. And I broke it down to 3 things. I put it on my vision board. I put things that remind me of that. And a lot of it involves scripture. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you 2 scriptures. They're basically the same scripture that I put on my vision board that I want to be my focus for 2021. So I think it's so important to just be aware of your thoughts at all moments. And I truly believe in the law of attraction. I believe it is one of the natural laws of the universe, as real as gravity. It basically states that like attracts like. And when you start thinking about honorable, noble, loving, abundant, wealthy, prosperous things, you start to attract those into your experience. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So have you ever thought about what a thought is? A thought is very real. You and I are thinking right now. So it has to be some type of energy. So your thoughts are sending energy into the universe. And when you send that energy into the universe, it comes back to you. More is attracted to you. It grows, it gets stronger. So if you've been in a state of thinking anxiety, anxious thoughts, that thought it dug a groove in your brain. Your brain has made neurons around that thought, and it has attracted the energy around that is strong. But once you start to think about prosperous, abundant thoughts, that energy begins to grow, and that one begins to create a groove in your brain. And as humans, we have that ability. You have the ability. I have the ability to create the world we desire. And I just want to thank God for being the power and the creator that sources that energy. And I truly believe that having faith in a higher being is what really powers that energy. Because you know that as a human, we are not enough. There has to be something that has much higher power that is doing this for us, that we can draw energy from. And I believe that God has the Holy Spirit here on earth to put that energy in me to be able to talk to you guys. Like, a lot of the times I be having anxiety about making videos. Like, I don't want to do it, but I know that being able to share knowledge, because I wish somebody would have told me this. Like, I'm getting choked up because I really mean this. I really wish somebody would have told me this stuff earlier. And I'm glad there's a platform like YouTube where little girls can see people like me. Maybe I'll look like them, and they can feel like there is hope for people like me, and I can do something about it. And so, yes, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you made it all the way here, you're the best type of person. Leave penguin in the comments if you made it here. I love y'all, and peace out. Stay blessed.